Welcome to SpillHood, the spot where we break down the wildest celeb twists and the drama nobody else wants to dissect. Now let me tell you this right away. It's rare that I fully agree with Tasha K on anything, but this situation, I'm right there with her because this whole relationship looks confusing from every angle. You're telling me Toni Braxton, a full R&B icon, a woman who still gets standing ovations decades into her career, actually walked down the aisle with Birdman only for her to turn around and file for divorce 2 days later? That move hit the internet like a car crash. Slow to watch, hard to ignore, and absolutely shocking.
Toni. I think everybody was shocked when we found out that these two actually got married. I know, like, there's a lot of things we will do in order to pay our bills, but I never thought the relationship between Toni and Birdman was genuine. I just knew that he was just willing to go broke behind her. It just never fit. And so apparently in August of last year in 2024, they had a secret wedding. Finally got married in secret, even though everything else was public. And then she went and tried to annul the marriage 2 weeks later because she realized she had stopped.
Toni is not the type to entertain random chaos, so the fact that she dipped this fast says a whole lot. And let's be real, Birdman is not thrilled either. For more than 6 years, he kept pushing the wedding back while Toni stayed loyal, waiting on the sidelines and keeping their relationship solid. She wasn't rushing, she wasn't complaining, she was just moving smart and staying patient like she always does. But when it finally came time to seal the deal, Toni didn't play around. She locked everything in, clean and secure. Now the word on the street is that Birdman might have to hand over a slice of that $160 million fortune, and you know that hit him hard. This is the same man who had Lil Wayne fighting for his own money for years, so you already know he didn't expect the tables to flip like this. But the real question still stands. What pushed Toni Braxton to file for divorce so fast after saying, "I do"? Now here's where things start getting real interesting. Toni Braxton and Birdman weren't some random pairing thrown together overnight. These two have been friends for almost 20 years. And let's be honest, everybody in the industry had their suspicions. Toni swears they never crossed any lines before officially dating, and that's her story, so we're rolling with it. Still, that connection was way too tight to be just casual vibes. Birdman has always been extremely private when it comes to anything romantic, so when whispers started spreading in 2016 that they were actually dating, the entire industry did a double take. Then the rumors went even further, but some folks claimed the two secretly eloped in 2017, which had fans looking around like, wait, what?
Me and him have been friends for 16 years.
I know, you had a song like 15 years ago,
Yeah,
too,
we've
right?
been like besties for a long time.
People always say that. But
No, this is real. Like, no cross the line.
Besties, like you always kept in touch and you always talked?
We would keep in touch. He would come see me when I had my plays. When I had my baby shower, he would come. Like, we were really friends.
Toni shut those rumors down instantly. Birdman shut them down too. According to them, they were just hanging out, staying cool, keeping everything relaxed and low-key. You know, the type of just friends energy people claim when they don't want the world in their business. But here's the twist. A blind item started floating around, hinting that Toni and Birdman weren't just hanging out. They were officially a thing, even if they tried to keep it under wraps. This is where the story starts getting messy. Now, this blind item was the one that really shook everybody because it sounded way too close to Toni Braxton's real life to ignore. It claimed that a former A-plus list singer, someone who comes from a whole family of singers, supposedly ended things with her longtime boyfriend because she had to step up for her family and handle a mountain of debt. And according to the blind item, instead of choosing love, she supposedly connected with the man who could offer the biggest financial stability. A man who had serious pressure around him and a lot of people watching his every move. That description lines up a little too well with Toni. If we look back, Toni filed for her second bankruptcy in 2010 after lupus forced her to cancel her Las Vegas residency. That medical battle hit her hard, physically, emotionally, and financially.
What you was at the awards last night?
Yeah, I was out there
Working.
doing my thizzle.
And you were with Toni, which kind of felt like some sort of announcement.
I wouldn't look at it as an announcement, not for me, on my behalf. You know, I just wanted to come. Me and T just went to the awards, check it out. So, what's the big deal?
It is a big deal. You know why it's a big deal? Because it's Birdman and Toni Braxton. And also because we don't see you like in a relationship. We talked about this last time when you
I've always been off the radar because I think me personally, I always felt your personal life don't have nothing to do with conflict with your entertainment life.
And she's always been open about how much she supported her whole family. Her sisters depended on her, the bills kept coming, and she was carrying way more than most people realized. And when Toni talked about her connection with Birdman, everything started to make sense. She explained why being with him felt so natural and peaceful, saying, "It's comforting to have someone tell you it's okay to be ill and that you don't have to be Wonder Woman at all times." That line hit deep because lupus is no joke. It drains your energy, your strength, and sometimes even your confidence. Toni had moments where the weight of everything felt overwhelming, but with Birdman, she didn't have to pretend she was fine when she wasn't. For someone constantly pushed to be strong, that kind of support can feel like a lifesaver. Toni has been honest about her struggles, saying she always felt insecure, dating because of her lupus. She feared no partner would want to take on the responsibility of supporting someone dealing with a serious illness. She explained that with Birdman, she could finally relax, throw on a small hat or a scully, add a little lipstick and mascara, let her hair down, and still feel completely accepted. That comfort hit different, and it meant everything for her confidence. And clearly Birdman was feeling that same energy, because when he decided to propose, he went all out. Toni posted a photo right after the engagement, and that ring wasn't just noticeable. It could blind somebody from across the room. Birdman reportedly dropped around $1 million on that rock just to lock in his commitment, and he even told Wendy Williams that Toni was his family, speaking with real pride and emotion. So with all that love, all that public devotion, and a massive ring that probably needed its own security team, the big question popped up. Why didn't they just get married?
People don't know, 2016, November, when I was on tour, October, I was really sick. I don't mean kind of sick. I mean like really,
From
really
lupus?
sick.
Or
I had a
from-
really
alright.
bad flare, and I was on tour. And every day I was on tour, he was there with me. If he left out, he would come back.
And this was before anybody knew you
We
guys
weren't
were
anything.
even,
It was
like-
buddies. It was
Right.
nothing. Not even a day. He was my friend. He was there. I don't know if
he
you ever
already loved you.
He's there every day taking care of you. But you know, he really was there every day. My buddy, my friend. To you, all right? You good? I'm cheering good. You know, he was just there as my friend. Like cheering, I'm cheering good. Big Mama good. He was there every day for the shows. And on my off days, he would go and take care of his business, but he would follow me on the bus and just make sure I was okay. And I don't know if you've ever been really, really sick in your life and you feel kind of hopeless and you got somebody who's a friend that's there. That's kind of, it
means
just
a
made
lot.
me see him differently.
Toni talked openly about being excited for her second marriage. She even said they were close to setting an official date. But right when everything was lining up, family drama stepped in and slammed the brakes on their plans. Every time they tried to move forward, something personal came crashing into the middle. They kept delaying the wedding again and again until it basically vanished from the conversation. Even though Birdman was fully serious about making Toni his wife, if it were his call alone, he would have married her on the spot without thinking twice. But everything took a strange turn when Toni revealed she lost her $1 million ring due to theft after leaving it inside her luggage while flying. That story had the internet spinning because it sounded almost unbelievable, but that's the version she shared. What is clear is that not long after the ring situation, Toni and Birdman publicly announced they were going their separate ways, and the timing had everyone talking. Rumors immediately popped up claiming they were secretly married the whole time and just kept it private. Toni shut that down fast, making it clear they had never been married, not even quietly behind the scenes. After the split, Toni posted a photo in a striking red dress with a caption that said, "Starting a new chapter isn't always an easy choice, but always choose to be chosen."
Well, T, that's my girl, my friend, my family.
Do you have sex?
That's my love, my soldier, my life. She my everything, and I trust
Because you
her.
bought her a Bentley truck.
Yes,
So the implication is that's your girlfriend.
she my life. I love her to death.
That message hit deep and had fans reading between every line. That caption Toni posted had everybody wondering if she was hinting at something deeper. And even though Toni tried to keep everything polished and calm, the breakup was far from peaceful behind the scenes. Word around the industry was that Toni wasn't the only woman in Birdman's world. Long before she stepped into the picture, he was reportedly involved with Cam Lee, and he continued supporting her lifestyle even while he was with Toni. Then things got even messier when Birdman publicly celebrated Kimora, calling her the love of his life and thanking her for everything she'd done for him. So let's break this down. Kimora is the love of his life. Toni is his family and his partner. That's a whole lot of different labels for one man to juggle, and it created major tension between him and Toni. Even when Toni brought Birdman on stage during her show in Atlanta, hoping to show unity, Kimora was reportedly still in the background with influence over him. People close to the situation claimed she could call and he'd show up, no questions asked. And the only reason Kimora wasn't publicly dating him was because she felt he didn't match the polished image she needed in the high-end fashion world she was moving in. So when Toni and Birdman made the decision to finally move forward with marriage last year, the situation was still complicated. Birdman was allegedly still giving Kimora attention, acting like he was caught between two completely different worlds. The word around the industry is that on the actual wedding day, Birdman showed up super late. And then, as if that wasn't already wild, he left early, claiming he had to go help someone with something urgent. And that someone was allegedly Kimora Lee. The part that stunned everyone was that he didn't even apologize to Toni for stepping out of his own wedding before the night was over.
There's no date. We almost had a date. Well, we had 2 dates, but we were doing Braxton Family Values, and we were going through a little drama, and I was like, okay, the wedding is a good thing to get all of us sisters together.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get us all together, and I said, the wedding's not a good reason because it's messing up my relationship a little bit. He's like, come on, Michelle, set a date. I know.
That's what he calls you?
He calls me Michelle. Doesn't call me Toni at all. That's my middle name, Toni Michelle.
That's the kind of move that makes people stop and ask, what is going on here? And honestly, folks were confused about why Toni, a Grammy-winning legend with decades of respect, was even caught up in this kind of messy back and forth. This wasn't the type of situation anyone expected her to be entertaining at this stage in her life or career. But Toni clearly had her own plan. Because she didn't stick around longer than she needed to, she stayed just long enough to secure her situation financially, and then she made her move by filing for divorce. Allegedly, when Toni and Birdman finalized everything, they didn't even sign with their full names. They only used their initials, TB and BW, and stated that their marriage was irretrievably broken. That phrase alone says everything without saying too much. Neither Toni nor Birdman wanted the full details of their separation floating around the public, and both of them have avoided shutting down the rumors that their relationship is officially over for good. The silence from both sides speaks louder than anything they could post online. Neither of them has been spotted wearing wedding bands lately, and both wiped every photo of each other off their socials, clean like nothing ever happened. That move had the internet going wild because people still can't believe Toni Braxton was dealing with all that chaos, even if the divorce left her with a serious payout. This whole situation felt like one of the most unexpected celebrity pairings the industry has ever seen, and folks are still trying to wrap their heads around it. The jokes online went crazy too. Fans were saying things like, Toni Braxton, the living legend, really let Birdman get that close? No way. And Toni filing for divorce 2 weeks after the wedding is unbelievable. People were laughing, confused, shocked, and entertained all at the same time because the whole relationship felt like something straight out of a movie. But what do you think about everything that went down between Toni and Birdman? Drop your thoughts below because this story had layers on layers, and everybody's got a different take on it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to SpillHood so you never miss the next deep dive we're dropping. Hit that comment section, turn on those notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one.